Hello everyone, in this session, I will be giving a presentation on utility services for the exhibitions, that be in electricity, water supply, plumbing, air compressor, and audiovisual equipment. For this year's event, Level 9 Company has been honored to officially serve as the utility contractor. There is a coordinators as Ms. Tharntip to facilitate the event. Please refer to the contact information provided on the slide for communication channels. First of all, let me explain the standard booth for the event. It will consist of two tube light 40-watt lamps installed at the back of company nameplate. There will be one power outlet that cannot be used for lighting purposes. Furthermore, I would like to provide additional detail about standard booth as the equipment package is set only for those who have ordered the standard structure, and it must be the same type of structure. The installation location previously mentioned can be changed by submitting an installation plan with the designated locations to the coordinating staff before the installation date. This will not have any additional cost. However, the company reserves the right to change the type of equipment as it cannot be exchanged for other types of equipment. For customers who have reserved the standard booth or reserved an empty area, if you need to order additional electrical equipment, you can do so by filling out the electrical system order form. The service is divided into 4 categories by Section A is for lighting equipment. The price includes equipment rental, installation labor costs, and electricity consumption charges already. Section B is for ordering electricity supply for general electrical equipment that is not lighting systems. Section C is for reserving electricity supply for lighting equipment. Exhibitors who bring in their own lighting equipment will need to reserve electricity supply from this list. The services will be provided in circuit breaker type. And the last Section D is for the cost of equipment and labor for installing lighting fixtures brought in by the exhibitor themselves. In case of there are a few set of lighting, this is already included the cost of electricity consumption charged. As for the reserving deadline, it has been set on March 27th. If the reserving is made and payment is received by March 27th, the exhibitor will be eligible for the pricing in the early bird rate, which is the lowest rate. However, if there is a reserving made after that, meaning a reserving made with payment during the period from March 28th to April 24th, the service price will shift to use the rate in the second column, which is the standard rate. And if the reserving is made from April 25th onwards, the price will be adjusted to the on-site rate, which is the highest price. The service provided in this form is based on the showtime schedule of the event. If the exhibitor requires services outside of the event schedule, such as, for example, CCTV or a refrigerator that needs to maintain a specific temperature, that need the power all night, they must mention in the form that they require 24-hour service.
Next is about the time for turning on and off the system. On May 11th to 12th, which are the construction days, for the exhibitors who ordered the electrical system for construction, they will be able to use the system according to the time they move in a construction area. On these construction days, the service for the exhibition day will not be available. However, if any exhibitor needs to turn on the system for testing purposes, they can inform the service counter staff starting from 1 p.m. on the last day of construction, which is May 12th. During this period, they can inform without any charge. But if they need to use the electrical system before that, they will need to order the system for construction on a daily basis. On the day of the event, which is from May 13th to 16th, the system will be turned on approximately 60 minutes before the opening of the event, and will be turned off approximately 60 minutes after the end of the event. And the dismantling time, the show system will be turned off at 7 p.m. on the last day of the exhibition, which is May 16th. The reserve dismantling service will begin from 7 p.m. to midnight.
This slide is an example of an electrical ordering form for setting up and dismantling days. Reservation orders must specify the required usage date. Next is the form for ordering the plumbing system. The services be shown in this form included the cost of water consumption. The provided hose will be approximately 1 meter long. If you require a longer arranged hose, please notify us prior to the installation for efficient workflow. Our services included the option to order the water supply hose, along with the water drainage hose. Additionally, you can reserve the water basin for washing purposes, which will come with the grease trap. It is mandatory for the personal responsibility for wastewater drainage to use the grease trap or remove any debris before discharging the wastewater into the drainage system. This is the regulation of the facility venue. For the air compressor system, it is necessary to inform in advance that any air compressors with a capacity of 1 horsepower or above must use the facility's designated system. It is strictly prohibited to bring and use personal air compressor. Another important consideration is that the supplied air pipes will not have built-in air filters or moisture filters. If the machinery of the personnel requires the use of these accessories, they must provide them themselves. Audio-visual services is included equipment rental, installation labor costs, and electricity consumption charges already. In addition, the company has other electrical equipment that is not listed in the form. If the exhibitor requires additional equipment, they can inquire with the staff. Here are additional details regarding to our services. For services that have been reserved and paid for, if a cancellation is requested, no refunds will be issued for any cancellations. The company reserves the right to turn off or not turn on the system if any unsafe or non-compliant installations with venue regularity are found. For exhibitors who has own contractor, you must remind your contractor to properly install the grounding wire into the electrical system. For works that have been contracted out, normally the contractor will not be present at the site on the day of the exhibition. Therefore, on the day of the exhibition, there should be contact information phone number of the contractor provided to the staff who are working at the site, so that they can be contacted in case there are any problems related to the construction work. Finally, if you have any questions about the general specifications of the electrical system, such as the electrical voltage of the venue, whether it can be used with your equipment without any problems, you can send the specifications of your equipment to the staff for verification. You can find contact information in the manual.